Everyone, Blue Mask here, and yes, we will continue this story. And news, I will do, the White Spartans on the weekends. And when I feel like I have finished this series, I will, continue, the Green Dragon. I think I called it that. And I hope you guys will enjoy. So, where we last left off, Bell met Tyone and Tyona, his long friends that he met when he was level 1. I actually made a mistake in the video because I said Bell was level 1 when he met Nahida, but Tyone and Tyona said he was I made it that Tyona and Tyone said that he was level 2 last time they saw him, so it didn't make sense. Anyways, and I found out what ship I'm gonna get with, Belle. It's Kale. Yes, the traumatized girl with green hair that's obsessed with vampire. Now, give me. Alright, sorry about that. I just had to figure out where we are gonna start. So, when we are gonna start is back at the, old Zeus Manor, but now it's turned into the Kushinaali Manor. Bell and his family goes into, the manor. Going around doing whatever, they're gonna do. Tainari going to check on his supplies. Al-Haytham, Dia, and the rest is just doing the last things before they go to bed. Bell, after seeing his quote-unquote sisters, because they didn't have that kind of connection, Bell only saw them as older sisters in his eyes. And it's still gonna be like that. Bell walked over to check his equipment, his sword and his armor. Seeing that, it was completely fine. Nothing was, broken or destroyed. Seeing if it's all was, not scratch, it was, but he could just, fix that. He put his weapon down and went over and changed, getting into his, a shirt and some pants, going to his bed and going to sleep. After, a couple of hours, he hears someone knocking at his door. Bell woke up by this and just thinking who it could be. Walking over and opens the door to see Kale, a friend of his that he, not sort of friends anymore, more like a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship. Kale and Bell actually hit it off well when the first time they met. Tainari and Bell actually found her hurt in a, slave thing. Slave trade in another city. Bell helped Tainari to rescue her to get out, but leaving Kale traumatized. She got attached to, Bell and Tainari for, this reason to save her. When they met, Wolf, she also got a connection with him, meaning, well, the rest of the family actually helped her. After all that, wait, Belle is 15 in this story. He washed ashore when he was 11, found by Dia. So 2 years passed by before Kale actually found out she really liked Belle, and she confessed, and Belle actually liked her. So generic thing, they fell in love. They have been dating for 2 years, not taking it far because still Kale. Belle still respected her a lot after going through all that. Belle stood outside of a door looking at his, girlfriend, wondering what she was doing when he thinks, could she have a nightmare? He watched Kale and just asked, "You couldn't sleep?" "No, I couldn't." Shit. Anyway, sorry. Belle just waved her in. Kale was already in her, nightwear, to say the least. She had her, some pants and a shirt on. She walked over with Belle to the bed and they lay down. Kale hugging Belle because she doesn't have the nightmare often, but when it did, she always goes to Belle. When Wolf were there, he didn't mind Colleen being there. Actually kinda nice to talk to her to get her to relax. Kale started talking to Belle. "So those Amazon we met, they're like your sister, right?" "Yes, they are. I met them 6 years ago and we got split apart after 2 years." "I see. They both look really strong." Belle looked down at, his girlfriend. Hold up, did I say that Belle and Wealth was level 5? Yeah, let's say that they're all of them level 5, even Kale. Tagnari is about to hit level 6. And Nilu, if the red-haired girl in the picture, I think she's named Nilu, if I'm correct. She's also a level 5, but she's not. She's good friends with all of the executive and the goddess, but she's mostly a entertainer in the family when they're just having fun, a dancer for them. She's also a good source woman. Anyways, let's get back. Belle just lay down with Kale, just get her to relax from the nightmare. Belle asked it's one of her, previous dreams, and she just nodded. Belle just, caressed her hair and just lie down to go to sleep. Kale liked every time Belle did this to her. Just lay down and just cuddle. Having, her partner near her always relaxed her. making her fall asleep. The next morning, when Kale and Belle wakes up, because that Kale always goes into Belle's room and gets some sleep when she having worst things, she always goes and sleeps with Belle, so she has extra clothes in, well, the ship and right now. So they always has an extra pair of clothes to Kale in Belle's room, and etc. If Belle, they also have a pair of clothes in Kale's room. This is it always sometimes happens, so Belle's go over switching places where they sleep together. They haven't done that yet, if you're thinking about it. No, they haven't. Belle and Kale put their clothes on and armor on, Belle grabbing his weapon because he had to go and check out the dungeon with Welf and, Kale. And Belle, Welf, and Kale to explore, the first floors. Yesterday, their family registered everyone in their family as adventurers, explorers, and everything. Because, their god Kusanale, registered them as intelligence and reconnaissance, meaning that they explore things, figure things out for the guild, or maybe go on expeditions. Belle went with Kale to a room, grabbing her bow and arrows. Wait, no. Kale doesn't have arrows because she have a vision, she can pull out arrows to use. So that's neat when you have a vision. Belle and Kale was walking down to, Welf's room when Welf came out. Greeting them, both of them, and they get supplies. Meeting up with, Alhaitham. Good. You all three are here. You know what you have to do, right? Yes, sir. Good. Explore to level 10. If you can, if it's easy for you, go down more levels. But be careful. There's a limited potions. Even though Kale is a healer, you know what's gonna happen. Yes, sir. Understood, sir. Alright. Come back when you're done. And be careful. I don't want take Nari and and her on my ass. Yes, sir. Yeah, got it. All three of them walked out of, of their house, previous known as the Zeus familiar household, now known as Lesser Lord or Lord Kusanali from Tevat's house. By the way, just the fact, this is a few days later since they went to sleep. Yeah, I kind of put it off for a while. I had a little trouble, so I am so sorry. They were walking down the street, hanging out, talking, and figuring things out. Give me a moment. They were walking down the street, hanging out, just talking, figuring out what floors, finally getting to the guild, where they have to meet up first. Walking inside and people seeing them and feeling their power, meaning don't fuck with them. They walked up to the register and, well, they see a half elf. Welcome to the guild. How may I help you? Yes, we're here to find out if it's alright we go to the dungeon. We're from Lord Kusunali from Tivat's new house. Ah, yes, you must be the adventurers they said have to go to the dungeon. Yes. My name is Aina Tool. Nice to meet you. All three of them bowed, but didn't say their names, because they want to keep it private until their actual papers come out. Here is, well, things you have to know. She puts out some maps on 10th floor. The 10th floor they have to go on, saying what maps and what have been explored. Belle, Welf, and Kale nodded and they walked off. Walking down to the dungeon when Belle feels eyes on him. Looking up at the towers and recognizing those eyes being the goddess Freya. Kale and Welf looked at him and asked, "Is there something wrong, Belle?" "That goddess again. She's weird." Belle looked down and from where he was looking and looking forward, and walking to the dungeon with his partner and friend. Now, let me just clarify this. I really wanted to change the story here where instead of Belle being in the Hestia Familia, he will be in, well, Kusunali's Familia, and instead of Belle, it will be, well, Lily that's in the Hestia Familia. But it didn't seem excited and it didn't make sense. So let's just say something. Lily is still part of the Soma Familia, but something's gonna happen earlier than expected. After some few hours, Belle, Kale, and Welf was walking on the 9th floor. No, 8th floor, just looking around, hearing some guys walking and laughing. Belle and those just hearing it thinks that they're just good friends. The laugh came closer when they see them. The man looks at them and feels their power. Well, they didn't feel their power. They thought they just can do something here. Seeing, well, not. Oh my god, I'm stupid. Why did I forget her name? They see Belle, Welf, and oh my god, I hate my brain. Kale. They see Kale with the two boys, thinking they're all just level 1s. The man stood in front of them looking at, well, Kale. Welf and Belle sees this and walks in front. "Mind stepping aside before you get hurt. We want the pretty little girl." Belle immediately feels and just brings out his sword. same as Wolf. Now, just give us the girl, or you don't have problems with all of us. Bell just feeling, but couldn't feel their power, so he just slammed his sword into the ground. Welf doing the same. The man kinda got confused when Bell threw a punch, but he didn't see the punch, so he got knocked out real quick. The other people saw this and looked up, seeing Wolf and Bell gone, and they just black out. All the men just looking knocked out. Bell just said, "How rude." Well, we should take their stuff. Bell, you know the rules. Never mind, let's just keep this secret. Bell grabbing his sword and putting behind his back, while doing the same. Carly just walking over and just stepping all the guys' heads. Just jumping and just plummeting them into the ground. They walked forward. After 5 minutes, they found, this scene. A little girl, a prom girl was on the ground, bleeding from arms and legs. Seems like she has been attacked by swords. A bunch of fire ants, or I think they're called fire ants. Around 20 was about to get closer to her. Bell, Wolf, and, Kale reacted fast. Kale took out, the ants in front, and Bell and Wolf immediately just start cutting them up. After a minute, they all were dead. Some drop items were there and crystals, but they immediately went over to the girl and checked her out. Swords, an arrow, some cut on her legs to make her stop running. Bell recognized, the sword. He saw it on one of the men that he took out, because he brought out his sword. Kale immediately ran over and started healing her, bandages her up and everything else. The girl was fine. It was not that bad. Luckily, they came quickly. Bell, and Kale immediately decided, fuck this, we have to go to the surface. Immediately, Welf picked up the little prom girl and started running. After a minute, coming to the place they left the guys, and the guy was about to wake up, seeing Bell, Welf, and Kale running with the little girl. The man tried to do something, but Bell just kicks him in the head, knocking him out. And Bell just grabbing all their swords and weapons, drawing them out and seeing, there has been blood on them. Throwing them away towards some monsters. Let me just say, those monsters have fun stabbing those guys to death. After, 5 minutes, they reached the surface. People seeing all 3 of them running away from the dungeon with this girl in Welf's hand. They knew that the streets were zigzaggy to their house. Tainari is the only one that could heal better than Kale, so they have to have to go on the roofs. Bell immediately jumps up with Kale. Bells stand on the edge of a house, people just seeing them, Wolf throwing the girl up and jumping a little bit after. They start hopping from house to house, getting closer to the Sus Familia. People seeing this and getting kind of weird how fast these people are. After 5 minutes of jumping house to house, they arrive at their gates at their Familia house. Not realizing that some level 5s has followed them. Any of them. Not randoms, but people Belle knew personally. But they didn't realize it because they were in a hurry. All of them went in and looked around, seeing that actually Tarnari was there with Dia, Nilu, and Al-Haytham. Yes, Nilu, if I'm correct, is a member, and there is a special member, but he's not there yet. There's around 20 people in, Kuznali's family. 19 is in the house, 1 is still around the world. All of them looks to see, Belle, Welf, and Kale running in with a girl in Welf's arms. Tainari immediately rushed over, seeing Kale's face. And, all the 2 others, meaning that they found a girl that was injured. He rushed over to see their wound. Some of them was starting to bleed again because they were trying to get in to a rush. Tignari immediately ran, no words, no asking. They knew everything about them, so they just did what they have to do. Kale followed Tignari with Wealth. Belle stayed behind to explain what the hell happened and why they're back so early. So, Belle, why are you back early? Well, you see, we ran into these men on floor 8. We had explored all the floors down after some few hours. These men tried to, let's just say, have some time with my partner. All of them realizing what the hell he meant, and Dia just asking a question. What did you do with them? We knocked them out. We went through the floor finding this girl. I recognized one of the cuts because of how it is. You taught me how to recognize swords. One of the guys has pulled his sword out so I could recognize the cut. I see. One of them also had a bow. She had an arrow in her. We also grabbed her stuff. Belle just picking up the bag he has. What Kale gave her. Yes, they did take the girl's things. Belle just showing the huge bag. She's a support then. Yes. Let's see. Belle looking in the bag and seeing what familia it's from. And there's a logo. A wine glass. Recognizing, he didn't recognize it. Al-Haytham walked over to see what it was, and it was from the Soma Familia. So, it's the Soma Familia. We have one of their members. Heard about bad things about those. Did some research in the library. A lot of familia deaths. Everything. So, they betray each other? So those guys were her familia members. Yes. Belle just stood up and just said, good, I threw their swords to monsters so they can kill them. Dia and Al-Haytham just looked at him. Belle just looked up. What am I gonna say? I killed them? Throw the swords to the monster. It makes sense. The monster stumbled upon them, killed them, because they stole their weapons. Dia and Alhaven just looked at him and they just Alhaven just said, "Good alibi. Good job, kid." At that point, they hear a knock at the door. Belle looked behind her. Well, Belle looked at the door, seeing it was closed. Well, open, seeing, well, his sisters, Tyone, Tyona, and 2 other girls. Ice Wallenstein and Lufia. I don't remember her last name. Belle looked at surprised at it and just walked over. "Wait, what are you guys doing here?" "We saw you running on the rooftops, so what happened? Why are you running with a girl?" "Oh, well, we found a girl injured and we took her here. We don't know where any other places were to heal her. It was not big wounds, it was small wounds." "Oh, so you went to here? Not a small pharmacy?" Belle just looked at him and just said, "No, not at all. We have a healer here. And he's really good at healing." "Oh, no, we just have a medic here. One of our, well, vice captains, Tegnari." "Ah, I see." Alhaven walked over to Belle's side. "Belle, is this the sisters you were that, hugged you a day ago?" "Ah, yes. This is Alhaven." Belle, doing that gesture, just holding his hand out with, well, just not pointing, just Alhaven is by his side, so he's just doing that shit. If you know. "This is Alhaven, our, a vice captain, not vice captain, a executive of Familia of Information. Nice to meet you. You must be some of the executives of the Loki Familia, am I right?" Tyone, Tyona, and Lufia just nodded. Well, eyes nodded. Alhaven looked at Lufia, and this is... "Ah, yes, I heard about you. A 1,000 elf, right?" Lufia was shocked by this, and Alhaven just looked at her. "Don't be weird, I'm good at collecting information." Belle just looked at them. "Yeah, he's really good, so don't get on his bad side." "What was that, Belle?" "Nothing, sir." "Good. Now, do you, I mind asking why you're here? I heard what you were asking before, but why did you come? It was not in your business." "Oh, we were just checking it out, and why it's weird you carried a girl. We're kind of one of the strongest family here." Well, was one of the 2 strongest familias here. They all just looked at him, and Belle just said, "Let's just say there's a lot of strong people here, more stronger than you." Tyone and Tyona just looked at him. Immediately just went over. "What the hell do you mean?" "Well, we are all the executive are level 6, and we do have a level 7. Alhaven and Dia doesn't mind this because it's gonna be public anyway. Being shocked by this, both of them just screamed out, "What?" Eyes looking at Belle as well. Lufia also shocked. Tyona immediately started talking. What do you mean level 6 and not level 7? That's impossible. We're the only city with a dungeon. But immediately Belle covers her mouth. Let me explain first, please. She nodded and Belle just uncovered her mouth. Because we have a level 7 and some level 6, because we have traveled around the world, and the dungeon is kind of like to that, with strong people, strong monsters, and a lot of things to fight. And also we have traveled a lot of times with a lot of dangerous situations, it took years for this, alright? So don't mind it. All of them just nodded. This makes sense, because Teyvat doesn't have the same thing as anyone else. Belle just also said, also we have vision, so they're kind of how strong we are. Ice walked over hearing this and asked a question. What do you mean? Because you have a vision and all the others. Belle looked at her and Alhaven, stepped in because of this. It's kind of common knowledge into that. When you join a familia in Teyvat, being the 7 archons, you get a vision. If you do something, that the vision determines what element you get. Like me, Alhaven showing his shoulder where his, vision is. Belle just showing his vision on his hand. Belle got creative when he saved, his partner back in the day. Self-courageous and strong for fighting, his vision appeared, being the fire one. Mine appeared because I wanted knowledge and wisdom. Dia walked over to join this conversation. Mine came to me when I was in the middle of a fight. Same thing as Belle. All of them looked at her. And who are you? I'm sorry. I'm Dia. I think I said it wrong. Dia. I think I said it correct, but correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I'm Dia. I'm Belle's, master. I'm also an executive. I'm one training newbies with Belle. They all just looked at her, looking kinda like an Amazon, so Tyona just asked bluntly, "Are you an Amazon?" She just looking shocked but laughed. No. I'm from the desert, so that's why I'm kind of more dark in my skin tone. That's why I'm a little more darker in my skin tone, but I'm not an Amazon. Both of the girls nodded, and I still ask, but can you get it if you're not part of that family? Alhaven just looked. No, sadly not. These powers cannot just come at any time. Well, it can't come anytime if you're part of a well, the free icons, but that's the kind of thing you get. Like you and your family. All of them just looked at Alhaitham. You get special abilities because you're part of the Loki family. You can lie to a god. You can, well, easily just not be reading. No one can read you or anything. You can even... I don't know even more, but that's the basic ability you get from your goddess, right? All of them just not. It was common knowledge. And like the Freya family. Even though I don't find them very comfortable, I must not lie. They get that a perk being in the Freya family that they cannot be charmed by any goddess or goddess. Gods or goddess. So they are really hard to charm. But in our case, we get a vision. We cannot be charmed by any goddess or goddesses at all. We cannot even join other familias. If we do, we lose our vision and our ambition. We can join other archons, but that's it. They are just nodded. Okay, kinda makes sense. Yes, it does. They hear some footsteps coming towards them, looking behind, seeing Kale walking towards. Belle walking over to her and asking a question. Is she alright? She nodded and just said, she'll be fine. She just had some cuts and bruises. She will wake up in a few hours. Belle immediately recognized how Kale is. Seeing this, he just asked, are you okay? You don't seem as your usual self. Kale just nodded. Being a little sad and reminded of her past, Belle just hugged her. Well, put her head in his chest and just hugged her. Kale appreciated this and just hugged him back. Tyone and Tyona saw this and just asked a bit of question. But Tyone immediately recognized, well, what Alhaitham said a few minutes ago. Wait, you said Belle had a partner, right? Yes, and that's her. Don't mind. But please, if you wanted to hug her, don't. It's kind of not good for her. If you do, you get a big scolding by Belle and her teacher, Technari. All of them just nodded. Kale just hugged Belle for a little bit when Tyone and Tyona walked over, tapping Belle's shoulder. Belle looking to the side and just looking at them, immediately realizing what they wanted to do. Yes. Kale, I want you to meet kind of my sisters. Kale looked up and looking at Tyone and Tyona. She blinked a little bit but looked at Belle. Yes, this is Tyone and Tyona. They're twins from, well, a certain island where Amazonians came from. She just looked at Belle. Belle just said, don't worry, don't worry. You are still mine. Kale just blushed blushing by this. Tyona reached out her hand. Nice to meet you. I'm Tyona. Tyone doing the same. Hello, my name is Tyone. Kale reached out her hand and shook both of them. Nice to meet you, both of you. I'm glad I met Belle's kind of family. Tyone asked a question. So, how did you two become a couple? Now this is where I'm gonna end it off. I am so sorry for the cliffhanger, but I'm gonna end it here. Good morning, goodbye, farewell, see you later. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.